We're broadcasting live. Okay, maybe we're not.
2 minutes until showtime.
Hopefully we are. I'm hoping I'm getting this right, folks. Stream is offline. According to this, well, hopefully it'll start when the time comes. So,
1 minute until showtime.
we got 1 minute to go, folks. So hopefully we're going to get this working right.
Your show will go live in 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings and merry met, folks. This is the Philosopher's Stone, and we're trying to do a live video. I'm trying to figure this out, folks, and this is getting to be a pain. Bear with me where we try to get it uploaded and get it rolling here. Well, it looks like it is. Okay, well, we're going to try to have a good time. Hopefully it doesn't bog down too bad. I switched over to,
Da credo, sic gorgiamus allos dictatus nunc. We gladly feast on those who would subdue us. Not just pretty words.
Okay, let's get a little bit organized here, folks. Welcome to the Philosopher's Stone. You got Hedge Witch here. We're trying to do a live video. Hopefully it's working right. I posted it on Facebook, folks. If you want to check it out and watch it there, feel free. I'm also going to be posting it on the Philosopher's Stone Facebook page right now, and I think it's on our Twitter account too. So I'm doing this. Trying to publish it on different places here so people can see it. Alright. So anyway, folks. First off, right off the bat, folks, I wanted folks to send out some positive energy and blessings for our co-host, Canawitch. She's not going to be with us tonight. She's been very, very sick. And if you can, those out listening out there, the show, please send some positive energy her way. She needs it right now. We're going to break in some songs. I got some interesting things to talk about tonight, and I'm going to do some of my regular rants. Hopefully I can get some folks to call in. Excuse me there. Some folks to call in. Our number here is 657-383-1840. I put the word out because we don't have a co-host with us tonight. So if anybody would like to come in and chat with us and give us their view on cannabis, you feel free to. We're going to break this off tonight and start with a couple of songs I've downloaded. We're going to start off right off the bat with, I keep saying I'm sorry about that. I have to look these up again. We're going to start off with Bad Boy, Good Man by Tape 5. Great band, lots of energy. And if you get a chance, look them up on YouTube. That's how I found them. Now we can just find them with them. I've downloaded so many songs on here, folks. All right, here you go, folks. This is, once again, Take 5's Bad Boy, Good Man. Let's get the beat on and get this show started.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's right. The bottle's packed with cokey girls, shining frost, shining pearls. I think the lady swoon, the hottest dancer in the world. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no dance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. First dance is always free. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no romance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. First dance is always free. Leave upside and down my back, and never alone when I hit the side. Swing the thing with a ring-a-ding-ding, and I get wings when I sing. Ragtime, reason and rhyme, I'm the reason you're divine. Rumble, mambo, let us samba, the legend I sing. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no romance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. First dance is always. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no romance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no romance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. Oh, bad boy. Oh, bad boy. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no romance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. Bad boy, I need to dance, if I don't dance, no romance. Feel like dancing, dance with me. First dance is always free. I'll be your sugar daddy. Oh, yes. This is the Demetrius, old clarinet. Bad boy, I need to dance.
Cannabis has been used as a spiritual drug since 2000 BC. It's been used as a spiritual drug because it's a psychoactive drug. What a psychoactive drug is a drug which alters your state of consciousness. By altering your state of consciousness, it enables you to get outside the restriction of your limited perception, to expand your consciousness beyond the three-dimensional reality. All plants possess unique energetic frequencies, and those frequencies can teach a new way of thinking and a new way of being. Cannabis teaches a great many things, including the path of least resistance, oneness, surrender, release, letting go, inhibition, the present moment, liberty, communion, allowing, the impermanence and illusion of the physical dimension, the frailness of boundaries, the illness of control, the fear resident behind the bold, confident mask of the ego, and the effortless being.
Welcome back, folks. You're here on the Philosopher's Stone with your host, Hedgewitch. That was Till Swan, one of the spiritual leaders in the pagan community. And if you get a chance, look her up on Facebook. She's got a lot of great videos going. And the band was, once again, Tape 5. If you got a chance, folks, light them up. If you join me. If you're watching, I'm lighting up and smoking right now some great cherry pie that I picked up this week. Really sweet taste. And right now I want to give a shout out to my tech and my computer guy, Ikron, or excuse me, Irkane. Messed that one up totally. Irkane, he is fantastic. He's come and driven 20 miles each time just to come and help me out and get this thing rolling and get it functioning. He's also going to be rebuilding a site for me, a website for for Hedgewitch Pipes and for the Philosopher's Stone. And we're going to do some interlinking between the two pages and try to get this thing motivated a little further than what it is right now. If you get a chance, folks, please leave comments and leave and share this link. If those of you that are joining are regulars, I have a few regular fans that listen on a regular basis. In fact, one of them a while back didn't think that my teddy bear cup or my teddy bear jar was quite the Philosopher's Stone image. So I'm showing those folks in the video. I got a new jar for drinking from one of our listeners. They sent me a skull jar. Love it. Love it. Anytime someone wants to send me something, feel free. I will never deny anybody the right to send gifts. And speaking of which, I want to put out shouts to Chameleon Extracts too for always taking good care of us here at the Philosopher's Stone. Both myself and Canowitch. They've always done a good job keeping us in touch and helping us out, helping us keep this thing growing and going. Hopefully soon, hopefully by next year, we're going to be able to branch this off and we're going to build a bigger and better network of cannabis shows so that we can start rolling this 24/7. So you'll always have some place to tune in, check out, and listen to rants, stories, recipes, so on and so forth. A place to go for everybody. Lots of good music, so on and so forth. Speaking of which, I'm going to play this song and just keep some music rolling for right now and get the energy up. And then I have some things to talk about. So right now, let's see if I can find this before I start spouting off about it. Great little band here. And like I said, I butcher names, folks. So if I say something wrong, someone please correct me, let me know. This one's Kygo, Kygo, and this song is called Steal the Show.
Affirmative, is it an ETI? Omega 3, can I get your Alpha 1, when that thing crashed, he's not from around here. This is definitely an ETI. Roger, Dodger, this is Alpha 1, all ears. We have an unidentified extraterrestrial.
Darling, darling, I'll turn the light back on now. Watching, watching, as the credits all roll down. And crying, crying, you know we're playing to a full house. No heroes, villains, one to blame. While the zeros is to the stage and the thrill is gone. Our debut was a masterpiece, but it's needed for you and me. Hope this show, it can't go on. We used to have it all, but at least we go show. 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 Darling, darling, you know that we are sold out. This is fading, but the band plays on now. We're crying, crying, so let the velvet roll down, down. No heroes, villains, one to blame. While the zeros is to the stage and the thrill is on. Our debut was a masterpiece. Our lines we read so perfectly, but the show, it can't go on. We used to have it all, but now I heard it's our time to go. But at least we don't show. At least we don't show. At least we don't show. At least we don't show.
Alright, folks, welcome back. You got Hedgewitch here, and you're tuned into the Philosopher's Stone. And for those of you watching, you're watching the Philosopher's Stone. Read some news today, or the other day, about Australia. My brothers and sisters down under that are healing and cannabis users. Supposedly, what's going on there is they're pushing for medical marijuana legalization heavily. And it looks like they are going to be getting it, folks. November, they're supposed to be making the final decisions on that, and they're going to be trying to put together regulations for it. For some of the cannabis users down there, though, it's, dragging their feet too much is what they're seeing. They know the medicine, they know it works, just like our government in the United States does, and the rest of the world pretty much does now. And they're bogging it down with red tape. Same thing we did here in the United States. We still, as of 2 months ago, still had it on the Schedule 1 listing. More dangerous than Oxycontin and all the pills that the pharmaceuticals are pumping out at us. Yeah, and it's ridiculous, folks, to me. First off, that it was put on there in the damn first place. Second is that now, that they know that it's a medicine, and they've known since the 40s that it's a medicine. They've known since the 40s that it'll help treat and cure epilepsy. They have patents for it back then. They have another patent for its neurological uses. Yet still deny that it has medical use. Now, to me, that's a crime against humanity. That's withholding medication. Just like they just did, I just recently that the DEA is moving to federally prohibit Kratom. Kratom, for those of you who don't know about it, because of its opiate-like effects. And the reason why is because people have been using it to get themselves and wean themselves off the opiums. And it also has many, many other uses and things that it can help prevent. But they're worried about people, once again, abusing it. Here's some of the symptoms that they're worried about: psychosis, seizures, weight loss, insomnia, tachycardia, vomiting, poor concentrations, hallucinations, and even death. Those are the same crap that they said that cannabis caused, folks. What it is, bottom line is, the pharmaceutical companies are, have bought and paid for the Congress. And they help push through these schedulings. Chemity has a hype. The reason things get put on the schedule run, and then here's the list. Kratom, I don't know how you pronounce this crap, has a high potential for abuse as non-currently accepted medical use in treatment in the U.S. and has lack of accepted safety for use under medical supervision. These three factors constitute a Schedule I controlled substance according to the Controlled Substance Act passed by the Congress in 1970. Reads the DEA letter for the intent. Bottom line is, folks, the DEA is as corrupt gets. And they're controlling or being controlled by the pharmaceutical companies, which is being controlled by the biggest one of them all, which is the Rockefeller family, the largest drug cartel in the world. And they don't like people cutting into their profit. Simple as that. That's all this is about. This is about, once again, keeping you healthy and not wanting someone paying for them not to let you stay healthy. Same thing they're doing with the cannabis plant. And if we, the more, here's the thing. When something becomes healthy and becomes a threat to the cannabis and medical industry, they will do whatever it takes to outlaw it. Simple as that, folks. They've done it with B20, I think it was B27 or B7. I can't remember there was one of the B vitamins they've basically outlawed and banned us for using. They banned certain fruits coming up from Mexico because they're healthy for you and can stop cancer. Yeah, they wiped out, literally killed holistic doctors by the dozens in the last couple of years. They're protecting their interests, folks. Simple as that. They have no problem taking someone's life to keep them silent. In Congress, there is 6 lobbyists for every 1 congressman that it represents the pharmaceutical companies. Myers is one of the biggest contributors, contributes to both sides of the political party, both Republicans and Democrats. I was just watching a video about the EpiPen and how the same company, Myers, contributes to the Clinton Foundation, but they also contribute, same company contributes to Donald Trump's campaign. Okay? They have people in high-powered places, folks. And one of them is people in, you got people that are connected through the pharmaceutical and the DEA and the FDA, and they're working together to keep cannabis and any other holistic plant away from you. Period. Now, really the only safeguard that we have to keep them from taking cannabis away from us completely is to have it as a religious sacrament. And that's what we need to keep pushing and keep remembering, folks. We have to stand by our grounds as healers that we use all plants. There isn't one that should be on a list. Plant or fungus or moss or anything. If it grows from nature, it was meant for man to use in some way, shape, or form. Mankind, excuse me. Period. It's simple as that. And it's corporations that put the stop to that. It has nothing to do whether the plant gets you high, because I know a lot of plants that will get you a lot higher than cannabis ever will think about, or many of the other psychotropic drugs that are used and manufactured. But you don't see them out there eradicating it. I've seen one grow. I see it growing in the city yard. But no one's out there pulling them up. They grow up and down our highways all day long, and no one's out there pulling them up. You've got deadly poisonous plants that grow up and down the highways of California and are planted by our government. Yet you don't see them throwing a fit that may cause somebody death or vomiting or convulsions or a number of other things. Blindness for one, complete insanity for another. You don't see them out there eradicating these plants. What you do see them out there doing is eradicating a plant that's completely safe as a recreational and a medical plant, and something that has never once caused death. Not one proven case that where cannabis alone was the cause of death. So, let's play a little song here, folks. I'm getting a little deep and getting a little long-winded here, and we're already half hour into this. Dang. I think we should go for some good old-fashioned Bob Marley, folks. So let me pull one of his up here if I can find one here. This is a perfect song, folks. This one right here is Redemption Song. This one always puts a knot in my throat, so hopefully I can come back pretty good here. Here we go.
All pirates, yes, they rabbi, sold life to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy. None of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you hear to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Oh, have no fear for atomic energy. None of them gonna stop us the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Yes, some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you hear to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption song, all I ever had. Redemption song, these songs of freedom, songs of freedom.
All right, folks, welcome back. You have Hedgewitch here, and you're on the Philosopher's Stone. Thank you for tuning in. Sitting here trying to figure out all these things. I've got about 4 or 5 different windows open. I'm trying to keep this video rolling. So far, so good. What I did is I had to switch over from AT&T, who I've been a loyal customer for years with. Had to dump them, folks. Sorry. Kudos to Charter for having their download and upload speed at the proper rate that I can do this. Hopefully it's working out right, folks. So far I haven't had too much of a problem, and I haven't noticed any messages saying that I've dropped video and dropped my thing. So pretty good so far. We got some things coming up pretty soon this next month. There's going to be I'm going to try to find these information on these real quickly for you. There's going to be a Valley Sesh. Now, for those of you in California, I'll try to find this. There's going to be a Harvest Fest in Central Valley. This is going to be one of the first, supposedly, like Cannabis Cup events, from what I understand. Evolution Events presents Central Cal Harvest Festival. And it's October 1st, folks, at 12 to 10 o'clock at night at the Tulare County Fairground. Tickets are available. You can find them on Facebook. I'll post a link on my page for it. And the details say, "Don't miss this event. For the first time in Tulare County, enjoy a medical cannabis cup friendly festival. The Valley's top medical cannabis with your valid Prop 15 card. Live music and DJs throughout the evening. Ages 18 to 20 must be accompanied by an adult 21 plus with valid Prop 215 card. indoor and outdoor areas, best bud and extract in the Valley competition. Sounds fun, folks, and I will be there. Hopefully we can get together with some folks and do some show or some live broadcasts from there. I'm sure Dusty Bowles will be coming down for it. Trying to find, they had a picture of here with the promo poster of it, and it had the list of who is going to be there as far as some of the bands. Let's see if I can find this here, folks. Sounds interesting. And then we also will be having a couple other ones coming up real soon. Here we go. Let's see. It doesn't show it all. Well, let's see. You can find it on Facebook. Look up Central Cali Harvest Fest. And if you're in the California, Central Valley, help support us, folks. We've been trying to get a cannabis cup in this valley for a long time. So I tried last year. I got a hold of High Times and was trying to get them to come in to use the Porterville Fairgrounds, which is where I'm from, for those of you that don't know. And I was able to get okay from the city and get a permit pulled for them, but it was just too late for them to get in there. Also coming up, and I want to remind people of this one. This is one of the events that I like to join every year. We have the Emerald Cup coming up. Woohoo! And I'm going to pull it up right here. December 10th, we have the Emerald Cup. Bands showing up for this one. We've got Damien, Junior Gong Marley's going to be there, Dirtheads, Stick Figures, Tribal Seed, California Honey Drippers, so on and so forth. There's just a real good lineup. This is always one I try to get to every year just because it was the first cup that I went to, I think, was the cannabis. We went to one of the ones up in Oregon when it was up in Redland. And so it got me really into being actually a cannabis activist and a cup goer. A Halloween find the High Times Halloween. The Halloween Cup High Time was. So it should be pretty interesting. Don't know if I'm going to make that one. Feel free to come on the show. We always give time for local event organizers. If you want to come on, you can always call in 657-383-1840. If you get a chance, give me some time notice beforehand so I can actually look up the myself and help promote it for you. And we can put a little bit of ad in there for you on the show too. So feel free. Same thing with people that have products, folks. I have no problem sharing my stage with artisans. I'm a pipe artisan myself. I'm an owner of Hedgewitch Pipes. And I have no problem sharing the stage with other pipe artisans and other artists. And not just pipe artisans, but there are artists out there that are cannabis artists. You know, that do murals, paintings, so on and so forth. I've seen some fantastic ones at a lot of the cups lately. Also, I'm always a supporter of maps. When you go to cups, folks, you'll see these folks. That's a real awesome group, and they're a big supporter of the arts too. So let's get into some more music here. This one isn't interesting. This is Sean Reyes, or Rezan, if I remember correctly. This is called Sugar, folks. Now, this is something I just pulled up. I was looking through my stuff, and I love the philosophy and the idea of this. So let me just play this for you and not ruin it.
like many. There's a God in it. And for a while there was not a single thing that the gods could not explain. We believed that their anger gave us lightning, their despair gave us rain. We whispered our desires to them, believing that their charity would sustain us. Those gods were just stories. But the stories became a large part of how we learn. They burn lessons into our memories. They become a part of how we remember, and remember almost everything. Right down to that first unbearable feasting. When we learn that this tiny blue marble we call the world has rules. Rule number 1, don't fuck with the bees. An unforgettable lesson brought to you by memories. I remember that I grew up loving mythology. I remember the story of the Titan Atlas, who is also the god of astronomy, the original global constellation of the starbird. He taught us about the stars. He did all this while he held up ours. Our pale blue dot. But Atlas is caught between two different tellings of the story. In the first, he leads a rebellion against Olympus and then the heavens on his shoulder ability. But how can just one be charged with such a burden? How can just one be responsible for all this? When I think of Atlas, I think of a single drop of rain. I think how unfair it would be to hold a single drop solely responsible for making the entire world clean again. I remember how my grandmother tried to explain our world to me. She told me the story. She said the ground and the sky, they love each other, but they don't have arms or rain. That's just how they hold one another. I began to see how the earth and sky need each other, but I wondered about us. In this perfect design, where do we fit? Which piece of the puzzle are we? Like constellations, I began to see a connection between dots. I numbered my thoughts and drew lines from one to the next. I began to see us in the context of a bigger picture, sharpening the blur slowly into focus. We are Atlas. I saw that this pale blue dot, this one world, is all we get. There will be no reset button, no new operating system or downloadable upgrade. We will not be allowed to trade in our old world for a new one with climate control, better fuel efficiency. We get one shot. Dismiss all reports of second chances, we get one. And if we draw advances on our future as if we won't one day be held accountable, we will. We are. The human race runs toward a finish line emblazoned with the words too far and wonders, will we ever cross it? Have we already? We are faced with a seemingly impossible task, and it's okay to be afraid. Our dilemma stands before us like a mountain carved into a blockade. The sheer magnitude of our problem would be enough to dissuade anyone. How do we save the world? We lay in our beds curled into question marks, wondering what can we do? Where do we start? Is hope a glue crazy enough to hold us together while we're falling apart? The burden seems immense, but we can do this. We must take the martial arts approach to loving our planet, love as self-defense. Forget about the cost. There will be no other thing as worth saving as this. Nothing more important, nothing as precious. This is home. All of our stories start and end here. We are sheltered within an atmosphere that has given us every breath we will ever take. Every monument we will ever make has come from the flesh of our planet. Water like blood, skin like soul, bone like granite. It is not a myth. There is no debate. Facts are in facts. There has never been any question. We are facing crisis. We dismiss the truth not because we can't accept it, but because having to commit ourselves to change is a scary prospect for anybody. The most alarming part of the statement we are facing crisis isn't the word crisis, it's the word we, because those two letters took responsibility away from one and rested squarely on the shoulders of everybody. We are Atlas now. But our strength will come from finding a way to share in shouldering the responsibility of turning the impossible into somehow, we will do this, we can do this. We can dismiss apathy, we can reject uncertainty. We can be the new chapter in our story. We will not see change immediately. We must act in faith. As the hour hand grips the minute hand and they land on the 11th hour, we must believe like the seed that change is possible. The seed never sees its flowers. It grows knowing that it must become more than what it was. It changes because in growth all its potential can be unlocked. Change is like rain, it starts with a single drop. Just one. Like our pale blue dot. Caught in an endless waltz called gravity, we circle the sun wondering who, if anyone, left the light on. We are constellations drawn upon the earth. We are connected to one another. We are bound. We must behave as the arms that connect the ground to the sky. We must try to be more like the rain. Our stories may differ. Our goal is the same. How do we save our pale blue dot? We act as the rain, realizing that each individual drop is as equal and important as any. We act as one. Now we are many.
All right, folks, that's our deep one for the night. That was Shoulders. If you want to look it up on YouTube, you can find it real easy. I didn't write down his name properly, folks, and I'm sorry. I know it's Sean. I want to say it's Royezan, but I was writing very fast, so I don't really know. Oh, shit. Sorry about that, listeners. A little dead air. I forgot I'd put it on mute. Those of you that were watching the video are going to be able to see it, but you're going to be able to also see my fuck up there. You can look that up on YouTube, folks. That was Shoulders. Very moving poetry. And I'm butchering the last name. I can't remember exactly how I spelled it because I just kind of wrote it really quickly. I know it's Sean, it's Hane, and I want to say it's Royezan, Royczan or Ecazan. I wrote it quickly, and I'm sorry about that. But look it up. It's called Shoulders, and he has a lot of other great poetry like that. And I try to find those occasionally. I mean, things like that to me move me to do a show like this. Things that go on that are politically involved. Cannabis is one of my biggest passions because it is my sacrament, and it has been forever. It's been my sacrament. It's been my medicine. It's been my recreational go-to of choice, and it also saved me from some really serious addiction problems, folks. But there's another issue that I want to bring a little bit of light to, and I know a lot of you have seen videos on it on the internet recently, and this is that Keystone Pipe battle that's getting ready to start. It's a peaceful protest right now, but the other side's not playing fair. We're talking about the Standing Rock standoff right now with the Indians and the corporate oil industry. I think last toll there was over 4,000 Indians there. The Crow Nation, in fact, today just joined them. Personal opinion, folks. I know I'm going to piss some people off by saying this, but it's time for us to give this land back to the caretakers, of their rightful caretakers. I think personally, in my opinion, that we should go back to those original 500 treaties that we signed with the Indians and take them to court one by one and reinstate each and every one of those damn treaties. We stripped these folks of so much stuff, and it's time for us to stop it. We need a chief of America. Not a commander of chief. We need a chief in the office, and not elected by the whites. I think the Indian nation should be able to pick the man that should be leading this country. Makes total sense to me. Give the damn land back to them. We broke every goddamn treaty that the Christians, the good Christians, did with them. genocide of, I mean, what we did to the Native American Indians made what Hitler did to the Jews look like child's play, folks. We put these people, we exterminated these folks to the point where they became an endangered culture. And that little culture that they were able to save had to assimilate and be thrown onto a reservation, which was basically another word for the crappiest land we could find. Now, I'm not saying that the reservations are bad. Many of them are beautiful, beautiful property. I mean, our Chilean Indian property up here, it's some of the most beautiful foothill area in the world, and beautiful sequoias. But the oppression that happened before the casinos went on up there, you know, it's maddening, absolute maddening. I want to play something for you, and I dug this up out of my archives. This is a poem by John Truttle. And I don't know if you folks know who John Truttle is. He was a very strong Indian activist back in the 60s and 70s, did time, was persecuted off and on, and was in and out of jail by the FBI in federal courts, or in federal jail. And he wrote some beautiful, beautiful poetry and songs. So this one right here, it's deep. Listen to the words, and anybody that's watching and following the here I'm talking it up, and I'm not even be able to find it here. Great. Now I've lost it, folks. Anybody that's watching what's going on up there at Standing Rock has got to feel some sort of empathy for these folks. When you're pulling dogs out to attack, basically, because you know it's going to happen. It's already happened once, where these dogs, the mercenaries that are hired by the company, have unleashed one of these dogs. So this is, once again, this is John Truttle. You can find his poetry and his story on YouTube and all over the internet. Fascinating, fascinating life this man led. This song is called Cry Your Tears.
already bled for you, already been dead to you. Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. Chapters of a democracy story, descendants of genocide. 12 more years ago, we went from being the majority to being the smallest minority. Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. We saw that empty early morning sky, back through that horizon, the bell of 1979, wounded knee, Sand Creek, that trail of tears. Exactly how did our land become your country? Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. All the still crying tears of our own. With your past as your future. That industrial moving car. Using religion as a weapon. Distilling love into hate. Pointing fingers and name-calling evil. Sacrificing lives and blood, making the innocent the new virgin, offering to the God of hearts. Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. Pretending to work for corruption, it's economic terror. Money talks, all the government listening, compiling files on ones who think different, conditioning and acceptance of death, and not to respect truth. So get used to hearing the law. Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. Misusing the beauty, turning freedom into a killing machine, mass murder of the environment, weaponizing the psychology of fear, and pushing material addiction with a substitution of rules, making the law. The Bill of Rights becomes collateral damage, making the Constitution another road free. Now you want it. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. The way this story is unfolding, you may end up crying together, having and crying at the same time. But we're short on tears to cry you. With all these tears to cry a borrow. Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you. Cry your tears for you. Now you want us. Now you want us to cry your tears for you.
right, folks, we're back. Once again, that was John Trudell. Get a chance, look him up on YouTube and check him out. So his story is fascinating, what he went through for the Indian people, or for his people. And it's not just this standoff right now is not just about the Indian people. It's about everybody, folks. This is our land. That water line that they're trying to protect right now is a pipeline for the United States. I mean, I'm sorry to say that is our land, not just theirs, but that's our children's land. Their children and our children. That's their water line. And if they destroy that and contaminate that line, we're history, folks. That line right there, that feeds thousands, millions of people every day. You know, they won't be able to grow out of that water anymore. They won't be able to feed. They won't be able to bathe. Not just us, but your children too. Now, this same company that's building this pipeline down there has had over 70 accidents in the last 10 years. 70, folks. And they just, one of the pipes, I don't know if it's theirs or another company's, just broke in the Yellowstone River. And you're not seeing damn thing about that in the news right now. You know, they're keeping these things hush-hush. And the sad part about it, folks, is what we don't realize is they're lying to you and telling you that oil is going to come to us. It's not. That oil is going to be shipped overseas, and then we're going to have to buy oil from overseas and bring it back here. It's a big con job, folks. Huge con job. My town is 50 miles away from the largest oil reserves in the world. We have great high prices, and our prices are higher than the middle of the United States. Yeah. Oil is not needed. We do not need to be using petroleum oil for shit. We can replace every damn bit of that oil, and we're going to spin this back around. Ready for this, folks? With hemp. Cannabis and hemp are the best things we could do for this planet. It boggles my mind that people are still letting them play games with us. Which is what they're doing. That you're holding on to an illusion that was based on absolute lies and false propaganda. And because of that, you've allowed these corporations, these drug companies, and these oil companies, and petroleum product companies, and cotton companies, and paper industry companies, and coal industry companies to rule your fucking lives, folks. Rule it. And it doesn't need to happen. If we all stood up and said enough is enough, we can do it. We can take 1/6 of our wasted land, we're talking desert fucking land, folks, and refurbish that land with cannabis or hemp, and take that oil, and within 10 years we could completely eliminate the need for petroleum oil and petroleum oil products. A hemp plastic bottle disintegrates, biodegrades within 80 days. Gone. Back to nature. You don't have to worry about it floating around in the fucking shit, or sitting in a landfill and seeping poisonous freaking petroleum products and poisons into your water system. At the same time, it's pulling all those poisons out of that ground and out of our air. Now, how stupid are we? How stupid are we to let these people control us so much? And then turn around and if you speak up against them or you don't obey their fucking rules, they'll incarcerate you for profit and make money off your ass while milking the system, and your taxpayers' money is paying for it. How beautiful is that, folks? They're boning you every chance they can get. They're giving you pills that'll cause things to happen to you, so they have to give you more pills to counteract that bullshit. When all they have to do is give you a plant to use. You don't even have to get high on the plant. You can juice the damn thing. You know, think about that, folks. This is what this show's about. For both sides of you. I mean, for both sides of my community here, the cannabis community and the pagan community, folks, wake the fuck up. I mean, seriously, folks. Those of you that are sitting around in a closet saying, oh yeah, I use occasionally. Bullshit. Come out and say you're a proud cannabis smoker. You use cannabis for you. And when someone tries to badmouth you, tell them, show me your facts. Prove to me that it's bad. That's how I've done it. Nobody's ever been able to call in. I have yet. I've done 47 shows, folks. I have yet to have one person call in and say that cannabis is bad. One person. Nobody. No one has ever challenged me. There's a reason. You can't. You cannot refute the fact that cannabis is good for the body. It's good for your body, it's good for your mind, it's good for your soul. It was given to you so that you can help yourself. You can grow it yourself. If you can't grow it, you can help somebody else that knows how to grow it. That's what I did for years. I can't grow for shit. But I helped someone that was a good grower. And we, between the two of us, my labor and her knowledge, we produced some pretty fucking damn good weed. She produced some damn good weed. I won't even try to take credit for it other than the fact that I dug holes and did work. Built the buildings. But neither here nor there. Anybody and everybody should be using this plant, from a child up to your grandmother. Simple as that. The largest growing population of cannabis users right now is the senior citizens group, the 50 and older, because they're sick and tired of doctors telling them they're sick. When they're not sick, they're just fucking old. And cannabis helps keep them feeling young again. Not only by helping the body and giving the essentials that it needs, it helps balance the body, balance the mind, balance the soul as you're getting through the best parts of your life. You know, that's the part of your life where you should be enjoying and having every moment be a happy moment. Not sick and pumping pills and worrying about if you're continent and worrying about, you know, if someone's going to come around to even say hi. Now in Florida right now, thanks to a lot of good campaigning, and especially with plastering, they've had a really strong movement towards the use of cannabis in nursing homes. And which is brilliant, in my opinion. Fuck, you're old. Let them do what they fucking want to do. Excuse my language. That's why we have the R rating here, by the way, folks. But let them do what they want to do. I've worked in a nursing home. I've helped in a nursing home. I was a CNA for several years, folks. And I wish I could have gave some of those folks. They were just beautiful people, beautiful souls, and they were being pretty much tortured by doctors with medication. Which was, completely against the rules, and you're supposed to report that stuff, but you can't report it when they're in cahoots with each other. You're the one that ends up getting 86. This is what happened to me. I watched more than one person get put down by doctors and nurses, and not in a good way, where I could have just walked in there and gave that patient a little bit of cannabis oils, or cannabis as a smoking. And that person would have been nice and calm for the rest of their life and enjoyed life and probably got back more of their cognitive memory. Now, they've done many, many researches and studies on the use of cannabis with Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, stroke patients, epileptics, obviously. And it works, folks. It helps reconnect those synapses in the brain that get broken, get damaged during these tragedies in life. And by using the cannabis, it reroutes the brain and helps everything fire at the same time, much like transcendental, much like meditation does. It helps get those synapses firing together and properly. And one of the best ways to do it is with cannabis, raising your frequency. And we've done many shows and talked many times on raising the frequency of cannabis and the use of cannabis. And it helps you ease into that area and learn how to get there with, like I said, without the cannabis. But the cannabis is still, many people still use the cannabis after that as a spiritual stepping stone, you might say. And I fully believe that it's a completely spiritual plant, and it's a guide. So on that note, let's try something different here. I was going to pull one of these up. This was the Stoner Anthem, folks, and it was kind of a cute little thing. I wanted to pop it up for you guys. I ran across this. It was, oh great, now I can't find it. Did I even put it up? Well, maybe I didn't. Anyway, I'll put this one up. This one was Prince E again, and kind of outdated now, being as it's the end of President Obama's reign, which is, it really hasn't, but you know what I'm trying to say here. And his promises for us that he would help legalize cannabis, which is bullshit, folks, because all it takes is a stroke of a pen and he could do one of his infamous executive orders and just deschedule the plant, not reschedule it. Because what they're going to try to do, and let me play the song, and then I'll get into this right after that. So here we go. This is Prince E. I've played him many times before. We played Man versus Earth, but this one right here is Smoking with Weed with the President, folks.
Mr. President, I come to you on behalf of my generation to talk to you about this little plant situation. See, a lot of politicians hate it, but I'm going to break it down and demonstrate to you why it's not as bad as they make it sound. See, you're the president that I believe can handle this. Heck, your campaign slogan was, yes, we can. Just kidding, but seriously, let's examine this subject truthfully, dog. Look, you know constitutional law in Harvard, right? In 96, well, you should know the Declaration of Independence was drafted out of hemp. So was the flag. So were the sails that pushed our ships on the path to the colonies. So what's the fuel used for Henry Ford's Model T? So in a sense, you could say that pot has actually driven American history.
Please, that makes you lazy and underachieved.
But how can that be when some of the most successful people smoke weed, from Walt Disney to Milton Fried, from Stephen King to Steve Jobs to Apple didn't fall from the tree, you get it? Steve Jobs, Apple, trees, Jobs created the Apple computer. How y'all weed? See, people believe
sativa. See the name marijuana, he created as propaganda for the people to make it sound more dirty and a little more evil. He figured if he could stir the public enough, they was wanted illegal. He teamed up with newspapers who had their own motivation. Like Google Decorticator. The newspapers printed fake stories about how every puff destroys your brain, making you crazy, insane, prone to murder and rape. They use race and then said again that we makes white women want to get pregnant by Negroes and immigrant Mexicans. And based off of no research or investigation, Congress rubber-stamped that legislation, and then poof, there was a law around it. So we accepted it and never thought about it, but let's get smart about it. Lies and greed are the real reasons that it's illegal, and the reason you got that look on your face when I talk about it.
Marijuana is illegal for public health reasons. We don't want the American people breathing that stuff in and smoking it. Ain't nothing wrong with a little game day buzz, but marijuana is a dangerous, useless gateway drug. And you want me to legalize so the kids can get it easier? Well, what can I say? Either that's something to laugh at, or bro, you're more of a jackass than Kanye.
A jackass? Okay. How about we talk about this rationally? See, every 6 seconds a person dies from tobacco and every 13 from alcohol.
Really?
Guess how many died in the last 10,000 years from weed?
You're gonna tell me.
None at all. As it's still not no chance to overdose. Now, one case in history, and no, I'm not blowing smoke. Don't be in college, just regulate and control it. Take the power from the drug dealers who contaminate, selling it on it. See, they love the law out of y'all because they made millions. When drug dealers put the law, it's time to amend them. As for the kids, yeah, I agree, except for the kids, the hobbies, and the mafia, cigarettes. Is that surprising? Think about it, sir. How many drug dealers you know act the CID? It's not saying it's a gateway drug, something so strong that you can't break away from. Big home, listen, quit being a politician. Study show it's not addictive, and the gateway theory's a lot of fiction. A contradiction, and you can quote me on it. You said marijuana was a useless drug? Hold up a moment. Medical tests and evidence show it. Proof of the street, glaucoma, cancer, asthma, multiple sclerosis. It could do so much if it was legal. But if it was legal, a lot of pharmaceutical drugs wouldn't be needed. I did my research and it seems that it was. So if pharma gave you millions of dollars, so if we became legal, they would lose a lot of profit. And you would lose funding. So tell me, Mr. Presidential, is it really public health or is it special interest? Are you worried about the kids or the private business? Since only a few years back, you was against lobbying and corporate robbery. You campaign for change, well damn it, now demonstrated in policy. Cause if you really want to stimulate the economy and mitigate the problems that emanate from poverty, it's time to legalize this billion-dollar commodity. Harvard professor Jeffrey Myron estimated $9 billion generated in taxes from regulation, plus another 11 would be saved from law enforcement resources and incarceration. It's 20 billion total every year. You saying this country don't need that kind of paper? Put it towards environment, invest in education, infrastructure in conjunction with job creation, or maybe a combination. Just stop laughing at the situation and give it serious consideration. It ain't a joke, ain't nothing funny. The country's broke and its people need money. It's simple as that. Clinton did it, Lincoln did it, and now you throw people in prison for this crime that we committed. Mr. President, if it's such a sin, then why don't you and the men I just named turn yourselves in? I beg your pardon. See, I wanna hear that circular logic win and that overall. Let's be honest, if you got caught with marijuana the day you smoked, there wouldn't even be an Obama, no pocket that prestigious college or Harvard getting speeches polished with honors. Cause today, you can't get a student loan and cup with one weed cigarette, but you can have a rape conviction on your record and still get a check from the government. Yo, what the fuck is this? Do you not see injustice when it's people suffering sick, dying of cancer, whose only relief is a plant proven to ease pain? But that don't mean handcuffs. That don't mean being called a criminal. That don't mean thrown behind bars. Beautiful Mr. President, this ain't political. It's commonsensical. Millions in prison for something that's never killed a single individual. But you make deals with prescription drug advocates. When just last year, more Americans died from prescriptions in their cabinets than heroin, terrorism, murder, and traffic accidents combined. Mr. President, open your eyes and see the blood on the wall. These companies wouldn't care if the country was coming apart. They sharks. They only care about how much it'll cost. They've been a disease cured in 60 years. Why? Because the patient cured is a customer loss. Well, I say enough is enough. It's time for us to fix it. It's time to get away from the pharmaceutical interests. Forget about the stigma. Forget the opinions of politicians. Because collective ignorance don't mean wisdom. Forget about pandering to the system. Because when the system's wrong, sir, it's your duty to go against it. I urge you to reread the 9th Amendment and have courage and conviction and remember your commitment to the people. Because what if it was Malia? What if she needed a drug that was illegal to survive? Will things change? Will they be a little different? Will policy remain? Put yourself in that position. And no, I'm not wishing that on you, just illustrating the consequences of this little plant situation. Cause a lot of politicians hate it, but I just broke it down. It's up to you to step up, sir. The time is now. I say the time is now. I hope you step up, sir. The time is now.
All right, folks, welcome back. That was Prince E once again, smoking weed with the president. And it's pretty much everything that I preach on this show. You know, I was sitting there listening to it right now. And every bit of what he says is what I've been saying to you folks for the last 47 episodes. You know, it's time for us all, not just Mr. President, but for all of us to step up. Even if you don't smoke weed, you know, you pagans out there that are listening to this show just because it's that, and you call yourself healers, you know, this plant is healing people daily. I can tell you of a little girl, Brave Michaela. I've met her personally. She's a beautiful little child that the doctor said take her home to die. She's 8 years old now, brilliant child, uses cannabis daily. She uses sometimes doses that would knock me out. And I know Kanowitz tried to keep up with her for a while and when she was using, and you can't. But she uses it on a daily basis because her titrate levels are up so high that it's not affecting her like it would you and me. Now, people don't realize that you build up and store this plant in you. The CBDs and the cannabinoids are stored in the body. The body takes a hold of them and grabs them because they need it. And it locks it in. And as you're using it and using it, it starts replacing what it's used up. And once you have it saturated into your body, it becomes a fountain of youth for a lot of people. I mean, I contribute my health completely to the cannabis. I don't use aspirin. I have migraine headaches. I have allergies that are outstanding. Arthritis, I use, for those of you that are watching the video, I'm going to show you right now, I use cannabis salves. This one right here is one of Kanowitz's creations. I love the stuff. Not only do I use it on my arthritis and everything, but I also use it on my tattoos. I used it on my cut a while back, and some people know I stabbed a knife clear through my finger. That night I packed it full of cannabis salve. It's completely healed now. This was a week and almost 2 weeks now. And you didn't even leave a scar on there. And I jabbed a knife completely through my finger, folks. It was a nasty cut. I should have had stitches. Same thing with the top of my hand when I cut off that and bounced it off the tendon. Packed it with cannabis salve, sealed it up good, let it go. A couple of days later, it was healed. I've watched the oils take cancers, melanoma, on myself and on other people. I've seen it cure a decubitus ulcer, one of the hardest ulcers to cure. I've watched in the video and watched it cure one. And leave nothing but a blemish where it was. And we're talking on an 80-year-old man. It works, folks. This plant's worked for centuries. The shamans have been using it forever. It used to be in our books, our pagan books, as one of the main medicines, especially for a love potion. And that's, simple. That's not even, I mean, anybody knows, anybody that's used cannabis knows it's a sensory heightening drug. And as far as being romantic, it's a great thing for your romance. Simple as that. I'll be the first to attest to that. I love getting high and connecting with somebody spiritually and physically. Ain't nothing like it. It says I have high CPU usage. Great, cool. It means I'm doing something right. Or I'm being tapped in by them. So hopefully it's the other. Anyway, I want to give shout outs and go for a dab track right now, folks. We haven't done one yet tonight, and we should do. So we're going to go with, I'm going to go with a little fun here, folks. This one right here, let me get it pulled up while I talk about it. For some of the older folks, which I was talking about being the newest of the cannabis users, there's an old movie out called Harvey. And it was done by Jimmy Stewart. And he was an adult with an imaginary friend named Harvey, who was a big giant bunny rabbit. So, in a lead into that, let's see if I can find it now. This band is, no, I can't even find it, damn it. I always do this, folks, to you. This is an electric swing band. And if I can find the song, now I gotta look up in the H's, great. I just thought I had it right there. Well, damn it, now I messed it up. Anyway, I'll try something different here. Let's just get into this one right here. This is, we're going to go with a little groove juice. This is Cafe Prague, folks. Enjoy.
So, there's something to getting these people out of their houses, and I'm going to find out what it is. you jump like that?
About 3 years ago at Roseland, when that police circus act got loose. What is it I was playing up there?
I don't know, it isn't boogie. It isn't jive and it isn't swing. It's kind of all of them.
Hey, sister, what do you call that exercise you get?
Rock and roll, brother, we're rocking tonight.
Macbeth. Act 4, Scene 1. A cave. 3 witches are gathered around a fire. Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge-bake whined.
Harpy cries, "'Tis time, 'tis time." Rag it like a cold and go. Give us toes like a bow. Serve a dagger, dancing dead effigy of beat and let double, double, trouble you bubble in a witch's brew. Eyes through the toe of frog. Lizard leg and fairy with round about the corner. Sing double, double trouble, you bubble in a witch's brew. Will be done when the hurdy-burdy's done. Double, double trouble, you bubble in a witch's brew.
Oh, I'm so sorry if I'm late, but we had a seance at the house last night, and it ran on until all hours.
I love that clip. That was Omni, by the way, folks. Or Omna. OMNIA. And that was Witch's Brew. If you get a chance, look it up. I love the references and the tale of Macbeth. Great story. I actually have a copy of it from 1892. So, love that piece. In fact, I have a large collection of old antique books. Most of my old books are from the 1800s and early 1900s. When I was a kid, I used to collect them all the time. But speaking of Witch's Brew, and I want to bring out and remind everybody about my co-host, Canawitch. And people, if you get a chance, go to her page, Canawitch Creations. And that, before I get any further, I forgot completely. Our dab tracks are always brought to us by Chameleon Extracts, chameleonextracts.com. And you can find them also hashtag Team Chameleon. Great products, folks, and great sponsor of our show. As is Canawitch. Canawitch has always been one of our, has been our co-host. We just now started putting her on as co-host and actually giving her the proper acknowledgement. She's always been my sounding board. We've been working together for over 8 years now. About 9 years, I think, now. And we both have helped each other out many times. But right now, she needs our help. She needs some, just positive energy sent her way, folks. Go to her website on Facebook, Canawitch Creations. Leave her a message. Send her some love. We miss her. We got 17 minutes left, folks. You can always call into the show. Number is 657-383-1840. Well, that's always a permanent number here. We'll be back again next Monday, 10 o'clock until 12 a.m. as usual. The Philosopher Stoned. Our mission here has basically always been just to bridge that gap between the pagan world and the cannabis community. You know, we've always used this plant, and the sad part about it is it was taken away from us. And to me, it's religious persecution, and it's crime against humanity to keep it away from us, and from us being able to use it on other people. I've always preached it that if you got an illness, and just put that illness on the computer and type in cannabis with it, and you'll find a study that'll show that the positive effects cannabis in one way, shape, or form could help with that illness. Over and over and over. I mean, I've tested it for years. You know, just anybody says something, you know, they have this disease or this problem or this thing going, I just tell them, same thing. I'll do it for them many times, and I'll throw them up 5-6 studies. I was just reading, it just pisses me off. Israel's getting ready to start distributing cannabis on a regular basis, out of country, exporting it. Now, why is it that that country over there can freely export it? You know, this country over here has it legalized. Another country over here is now using hemp as a main harvest. You know, it's time to stop with the bullshit and lies and stop with this holding on of an illusion that is based on lies, folks. As you were, Prince E was saying, the whole thing was based on prejudice and lies, just to protect the pharmaceutical and the textile industries and the paper industry at that time. And now it's become a point of it's easy to fill our jail cells with this incarceration of these people. We still have guys in jail right now doing life for marijuana, folks, for a plant. That's stupid in my opinion. Why waste? Put a politician in that spot. Put a banker in that spot. You know? Don't parole some guy that just raped a girl. You know, in 6 months, give him parole. He wasn't even in for 6. And that kid's already out. You know, yet you got a kid in here that had a 1/4 ounce of weed on him, and now he's doing life in some states. Okay, and shoot, that's not even the worst of it. We just had a kid recently this last year got shot by an off-duty police officer because the kid had a bag of weed, and he thought he was getting robbed because this plainclothes person comes running up to him with a gun. First thing he does, he tries to drive away. Well, the cop thought he was trying to run him over, so he shot him. Over a bag of weed, folks. Is that retarded? You know, I'm ashamed to say that we've allowed it to happen. Yeah. Before, we didn't have so many problems with our pharmaceuticals and people dying of pharmacy, like they were saying in the song back there, you know. More people die of pharmaceuticals than all illicit drugs put together. Combine them all, it doesn't even get it. You could add in all the people that you died in the United States to terrorism. Add that in there. Still wouldn't even compare. Okay? Throw in all the people that have died from auto accidents, and it still wouldn't add up to the same amount of people that have died to pharmaceutical uses. Now, you go to the research that I've saying, and what I'm spouting here is easy research to find and back up. Okay? You want to challenge me, look it up yourself. Okay? That's how I did it. And every time I found something, I always challenged that information before I posted it and looked it up myself. Every state that has started a medical marijuana or legalized completely and the recreational use of cannabis, every single one of those states, folks, and it's proven fact, has dropped double digits, the use of opiates and pharmaceuticals. Double digits. Now you know why they're so fearful of it. They're doing it strictly for profit, folks. They don't want to cure you. Everybody knows this. They don't want to cure you. They are not in the business of curing. They're in the business of maintaining you long enough to suck the fucking bank accounts out of you or suck away the government money. Simple as that. And then they don't even pay taxes on it. They hide that money overseas so they don't have to pay taxes on it. And then you have to subsidize them for their research. And we have these charities that are for research of this and research of that. Use cannabis. Do some research yourself, folks. Most of those research and those corporations that do the research programs and fundraising for research, that money is not going nowhere near research. That's going towards litigation. And the sad part is, even if they throw out poison and people die from it, the amount that they have to pay out in lawsuits because they own the jurisdiction, the judges basically, is minute compared to the amount they've already made on that drug. And even if that drug is banned in the United States because of contaminations or whatever it's doing in that drug, they don't give a rat's ass and they'll ship it overseas to another fucking country and poison that country too. And they've done it over and over again, folks. These guys are scum of the earth. And I know because I used to work in the industry. I used to work for two major, one a vitamin industry and the other was a pharmaceutical industry. And I helped make those goddamn pills. And it sickens me to the fact that I know what some of those things had in them. And I put them in there. Okay? Just because I had the knowledge of how to put them together. Yeah. And they were shipped overseas. Some witch doctor in Korea was inventing it or putting it together. Some of those were good. I mean, there were some really good products that we put together, but some of those were, I destroyed many recipes after we made the first batch. Because I knew that it was going to do nothing but poison everybody else around when I didn't ever want it duplicated again. I mean, we as practitioners, we as healers, we took an oath to ourselves to help others and be the tool to do so. Now, if we are not able to have every tool available to us by restrictions, that is a breach of our freedom of religion, folks, in my opinion, and that's what we need to stand on. If you want to stand on that, you have to do certain things. Look it up. We've discussed it many times on this show before. There is a criteria to it. You have to document. This is one of my documentations right here, folks, is my spiritual use of cannabis. I preach it. This is my own personal little church. I would love to build it to a bigger one, but this is what I got. So bear with me, folks. We're going to make this a bigger and better broadcasting system. We're going to try to put a bigger group with more DJs, more time slots, and then we're going to start doing a 24-hour service. I've got Dusty Bowles with Let My People Grow, and I are trying to team up and get something going for next year. Both of us have had real busy years this year. So, I got 6 minutes left, folks. Once again, we'll be back here again Monday night. Hopefully the video works well, and if it does, we're going to edit it tomorrow and probably have it up on YouTube forever. So, join us. Check it out. I'm going to have to check it out and see what I did. I don't even know what I did while I was doing this video. A lot of fucking soapboxing I see. So, I'm going to try this one. We're going to go, if I can find it now. I've had bad problems with I need to go through my studio here and clean it up a little bit. God, this has gotten to be a mess, folks. I've got so many on here. We're going to get something there. I've got, hopefully by next week, we got Canowitch coming back. I'm going to try to find some folks come in and get back to what we originally started doing, and that is to bring on people and have interviews and get some people that are in the cannabis community and the branch over into the other way, into the people that are also pagans and use it as a spiritual sacrament. So we're going to try to get do a couple of interviews. I have to do one with Phil Faber. I've been trying to get him to do something with me for quite a while, but it's going to be something that has to be done, recorded, and then we're going to just have to play it because our time schedule. He's back east, folks, and just isn't going to work as calling in. I'll tell you what, here we go. I found the song that I was talking about earlier, Harvey, and I just ran across it, folks, and this will be kind of an interesting song to go with. So this is going to end our night, folks. Enjoy. Have a good night. Sweet dreams and blessings upon you. Join us again next week. Same time, same place, and hopefully we'll have another video for you. So here we go. Good night.
Seconds. Seconds. Seconds.
Well, folks, that's the end of the Philosopher's Stone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I wish there was some way I could turn that off. If somebody knows and in their blog talker, let me know. Okay? That thing sucks. I hate that thing. The only way to get rid of that is to take off the sound and actually take it all away and have my headphones, and then I look like a dork. So we're not going to do that, and you're going to have to suffer through it. So get ready for that at the end of the night. So thank you once again, folks. I'm shutting down. Glad you could tune in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully we're going to do these again. Hopefully I can get some guests in here, maybe. Who knows? So peace out, folks. Blessings upon you. Have a great day, and be good to each other. Good night. Okay, how do you stop it? Okay, I think I ended it.